Greetings, taking a look at your 2023 summer outlook, but first let's start with what happened last year. We did see an average high of 67.3 degrees, which ranked 63rd warmest summer in the Beckley area. Comparison back in 1906, where we did see an average temperature of 72.5 degrees out of the Beckley area. Taking a look at Bluefield, we did see our 11th warmest summer take place last year, where those temperatures were just above 69 degrees. In comparison, back in the early to mid 2000s, 2010 ranked our warmest summer out there. We did see that average high just a little bit above 71 degrees for the Bluefield area. In terms of precipitation, we did see close to 16.5 inches of rain for the Beckley area last summer, which ranked the 26th wettest on record. In comparison, back in the 1940s, we did see 23.74 inches of rain take place, which took place in 1940 for Beckley. Taking a look at Bluefield, though, last year did rank our wettest summer on record, where we did see close to 19 inches of rainfall last year in comparison to the early to mid 2000s, where we did see anywhere from 15 to 16 inches of rain. Now here's Bree with your averages for the summer.
Looking at those averages for those summer months, the amount of rainfall that we normally see on average in Beckley for the month of June is about 4.3 inches. In July, we average about 5 inches of rain for Beckley, and in August, we see about 3.68 inches of rain in Beckley for the month of August. Now, if we switch this to Bluefield, we see some different numbers. Our average rainfall for the month of June in Bluefield coming in at about 4.14 inches. For July in Bluefield, 4.36 inches, and August in Bluefield averaging 3.14 inches. Now that we know those normal rainfall amounts for Beckley and Bluefield, let's look at those temperatures. So those monthly average temperatures in Beckley coming in about 68.2 degrees in June. That average for July, a little warmer than June, 71.6. And for the month of August, slightly cooler than July at 70.5 degrees for that average temperature in August. Now looking at Bluefield, same thing, those average temperatures 67.1 degrees in June, July coming in at 70.3, and that average temperature for August just slightly cooler, about a degree cooler in July or in August than July, 69.3 degrees. Now if we break this back down, this data, if we tear it down into words, on average, summers in Beckley are slightly warmer than summers in Bluefield. The average monthly temperature is about a degree warmer for Beckley than in Bluefield. And looking at that rainfall, on average, summers in Beckley are slightly more rainy than Bluefield. The average rainfall for the entire summer in Beckley coming in about 12.98 inches, and for Bluefield, a little bit less at 11.64 inches.
Thank you very much for that information, Braden and Bree. We looked at the last summer compared to average. Now here's our official 2023 summer outlook. We are making that transition already to an El Nino pattern. That is, warming of the equatorial Pacific has been ongoing for the past 2 months. We expect to be in an El Nino by the middle part of the summer. We are also seeing anomalously warm temperatures in the Atlantic. That's called the Atlantic Multidecadal Oscillation, and that's been in a positive phase over the last 30 years, and it will continue to be in a positive phase going forward for this summer. The matching years with a positive AMO and an El Nino lead to our historical analog years. So when we look at the El Nino rainfall trends in southern West Virginia, this is a La Nina, this is a neutral phase, this is an El Nino. Typically the neutral phase brings us the most rain, and La Nina a little bit less than average and close to average with your typical El Nino pattern. Temperature trends June through August, very discernible trend here on this box plot, shows a La Nina pattern brings us the warmest temperatures, neutral closer to average, and an El Nino pattern actually brings us the coolest weather here in southern West Virginia. So when we break all the information down for you, we do expect our rainfall to be slightly above average by about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. This is averaged over 3 months. We expect most of that rain will be from the middle of June through the end of August. Best potential for any flash flooding would be July, which is historically when we have flooding, if it does occur in locally heavy downpours. As for our temperature assessment, we expect the warmest month to be August, but overall temperatures will be very close to average. So we're not looking for any major heat waves to develop here across southern West Virginia. Now, as for the rest of the country, the best matching summers with our analog years show a cool spot from the upper Midwest into the Northeast and a strong signal for warmth across the Pacific Northwest. And we look at rainfall anomalies, much of the Northeast above average for rainfall. And then it peters out a little bit once you get to the Mid-Atlantic, a dry signal here across the Southeast. We see a dry signal across the northern plains and upper Mississippi Valley, southern Texas as well. And when we look at the current drought situation, we are still in a heightened drought across the plains. So some of that will be eradicated, but we're still going to be dealing with agricultural interest impacted by dry weather here across the Central Plains. As for our region, we are not in a drought. We are not anticipating going into a drought this coming summer. So that is a look at our 2023 summer outlook.
Just did a really good job on that summer outlook, you, Bree, and Braden. Talk a little bit more about what we're looking at this summer.
Yeah, so with an El Nino emerging, we're not going to have any prolific heat. Now, we're going to have some hot days, but it's the days on end with 90s. I don't see that happening. Rainfall less than last year. Still, you can get flash flooding and any thunderstorm activity. So overall, not too bad on the air conditioner budget. And farmers might have to water here and there, but overall, not looking too bad in southern West Virginia.
That's what I like to hear. Great stuff, guys.